Weeknights, so as a part of our year-long Veterans campaign, Return the Service, we feature young vets and share their stories in an ongoing series we call the Pivot 11. In honor of the men and women who volunteer and bravely serve their country abroad, we not only discuss the issues they face as they return home, but we also highlight their successes in acclimating to life after war. Today we welcome Anthony Ameen, who served as a hospital corpsman in the U.S. Navy from 2002 to 2010. After being severely injured in combat, he went on to start the nonprofit organization Wings for Warriors, a community that supports combat wounded military service members. Welcome to Take Part Live. Thank you so much for joining us, Anthony.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, fellow Arizona guy, at least for the moment.
Yeah.
I like that.
Not too far.
So you were a Navy medic, correct? And you were in Afghanistan and you saw firsthand the trials of war. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened to you and your friends?
Sure. I was with 1st Marine Division, 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, and we pushed out to Afghanistan in April of 2008. Our original mission was basically to go and patrol with the Afghani police and Afghani military so we can train them ultimately to provide the security operations that we were doing, to kind of just basically train them and teach them. They kind of white flagged. They didn't even show up when they were supposed to show up. And the area that we were in was Nowzad, Helmand province, like I mentioned before, and we got hit. We got hit pretty hard on every day that I can remember while we were there. We had hour-long firefights, and ultimately we lost 21 Marines and sailors, and and I ended up losing my leg. So it was just a rough deployment. I was only there for 4 months out of the 8-month-long duties there. So.
Oh my God, that's insane.
So you come home. You're an injured veteran now, and you're in the system. What was your experience like with the system as far as how we take care of our veterans, and what did you make of the whole scandal?
With regards to healthcare?
Yeah.
And see, I was a hospital corpsman too, Navy medic, so I knew how the patients should have been getting their treatments and how they should be taken care of. But I think a lot of it, for me personally speaking, was case management. Case management was off the charts. They weren't doing their jobs effectively. A lot of veterans were falling through the cracks as far as their benefits were concerned. And so I, for one, was denied Social Security as an amputee for 2 years. And I'm walking into their office on a prosthetic and crutches, So, I mean, how am I not an amputee? And I have to still, to this day, prove to them each year, to the Social Security Administration.
That your leg didn't grow back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have to do that each year. And some of my friends are burned, and 90% of their body, missing body parts, they have to do the exact same thing. And
is it because the VA is overwhelmed, or is there something more sinister at play?
Well, you got to think. Okay, so there's 52,000 plus wounded veterans from Iraq, Afghanistan. 320 plus thousand are suffering from traumatic brain injuries. 400,000. 320 plus thousand. And then you have 400,000 plus wounded veterans that are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. And then you have 22 veterans a day committing suicide. So I think they're definitely outnumbered. I mean, those are some heavy, heavy issues that our U.S. government needs to focus on. And I think the part that concerns me the most is the general public, the general American public. They don't realize that that's essentially what Obamacare is the same health care that veterans are getting right now. So they might need to think about that and do a little bit more research, because it's not some happy dance as far as health care is concerned. It's actually going to be a very sad and long dance.
So as a result of your treatment, I guess you founded Wings for Warriors.
I did.
Can you tell us about what your organization does?
Sure. And through getting, I guess, denied some of my health care benefits, my family also wanted to fly and be by my bedside that first year of my recovery, which was like 18 surgeries. So they were taking time off of work, and then they're also diving in their back pockets for funds, and finances. And so they're losing finances left and right. I think it was like $18,000, $20,000 that my mom and dad had to spend out of their own dime, the DOD. And
that comes right out of their drone money. I mean, then they can't buy drones. Which is just
So what can the average American do other than obviously support your charity when they hear things like this? Because I know I feel really hopeless when I hear about the VA scandal that happened in Phoenix, where we're from. It's crazy. So what can we do?
I would just say do your research. There's a lot of great healthcare out there. I mean, your father, Senator John McCain, is actually supportive of having veterans actually pick their own supplemental health care. You know, if you want to go to a doctor that you've been seeing as a family provider for 20 years, and you join the services and you can't go back to that doctor ever again. It shouldn't be that way. If you're a wounded veteran, I don't know what the percentage should be, 30% or more, you should have you should be obligated to pick who your doctor and who you want your health care to be, you know? That's what I think. But as far as my organizations, we've helped a little less than 1,100 wounded warriors nationwide through providing them with flights for their families or themselves if they want to travel to go to like a gala or an event that's wounded warrior related and they don't have the funds for it. A lot of guys will reach out to us. But mainly what we've been doing is just answering their calls and emails regarding their healthcare benefits. You know, a lot of these guys don't even realize they have certain benefits that they can get. And the VA making these guys wait in line and hiding these little lists, I mean, it's just making the issues worse. Their numbers weren't getting better. They were getting worse. They were just hiding the numbers. And it's horrible.
Ideally, with so many veterans coming home from Afghanistan and most from Iraq, I mean, it's not going to be a perfect world. It's not going to get assimilated into the regular healthcare system. So what do you want to see, at least from the standpoint of what the VA does now? Because that's not going away. How can they improve in the short term, you think, to give you guys the help that you need?
Well, first off, hiring a guy that's from Procter & Gamble with little to no healthcare experience, I think, is an absolute shame. Shameful decision.
Who is that? That's the new head of the VA?
The new director. And so the old director had healthcare experience. This one does not. However, he turned a company around, and you know, so I'm hoping he can turn the VA around also. I'm not you know, bad mouthing anybody or anything. It's just one of those things where I take this very seriously because not only am I a wounded veteran, but I fall victim to the healthcare system with the Veterans Affairs. And nationwide, people are just in a big scurry. You have American Legion, VFW, Disabled American Veterans. A lot of these guys are helping, even my organization. We reach out to those three because they're helping guys as veteran service organizations filling out their paperwork for their benefits and stuff. But these veterans shouldn't be relying on nonprofits. No. They should be relying on the U.S. government that they so bravely fought for and, you know, got hurt for. So anyway, it's just a shame. And as far as moving forward, what would I like to see? I would like to see them get their act together and actually put us first like they should. Any hospital would say that they put their patients first. This one clearly does not.
You know, I always say little things, like if you're on a flight and you're in first class, give your soldier your seat if you see him on, buy him a drink at a bar. It's real simple, just say thank you for your service. Do you think that's good advice?
I think so.
People? Okay, I don't know. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Really wonderful.
Very nice meeting you also.
Appreciate it.
All right, to learn more about how you can contribute to Anthony's organization, visit wingsforwarriors.org.